talk about the history of reproductive theory. So it's the 5th century BC, and Hippocrates is around. And his theory of reproduction is that there's seeds that come from all over the body, like an eye seed and a nose seed. In the case of the male, they come out and go into the female where her seeds are all gathered in the womb, and the seeds construct a new being. And one seed will dominate the other, and it's different for each seed, and that's why offspring have certain maternal traits and certain paternal traits. And honestly, that's really not that far off from Mendelian genetics, so kudos to Hippocrates. But then Aristotle, who is not a doctor, by the way, says, no, I know what's happening here. Obviously, the semen is the soul-containing, life-forming material, and it goes into the woman and shapes the menstrual matter into a person. And this bizarre magic semen menstrual golem theory of creation dominated the educated elite of the West for about 2,000 years. Till 1677, when a Dutch textiler named Anton von Leeuwenhoek, inventing a microscope that he wanted to use to look at thread counts. But naturally, when you can see things that zoomed in, one of the first things that dudes want to check out is their jizz, I guess. He saw them swimming around like crazy, and he immediately reported it to the Royal Society. And from that came a lot of speculation and introduction of preformationism. That's when the idea of the homunculus came along, that a fully formed teeny tiny man lived inside of a sperm and just went into the woman to grow. Now, the majority of scientists were spermists, but there were some ovists that thought that the woman had the tiny human inside of them, and the sperm was like fertilizer. This got complicated because if the sperm contains a teeny tiny human, then that means that teeny tiny human must also have testes that also contain teeny tiny human, and it led to the formation of the infinite regression theory, which is basically the belief that all humans that have ever existed and would ever exist have been there from the beginning in Adam's ballsack or Eve's ovaries. Obviously, that bubble was popped in 1827. An Estonian biologist, Carl Ernst von Baer, isolated an egg cell from a dog ovary and proved that mammals have eggs. And it was really put to rest about 50 years after that, when German biologist Oskar Hartwig was actually able to watch fusion of sperm and egg cell to create an embryo in an animal species, and the homunculus was largely laid to rest. After that, the field of embryology took off really quickly, and today you can do IVF. The time that it took us to go from homunculus theory to do IVF is about 300 years. Exceedingly quick when you consider it took nearly 2,000 years to go from blood golem to homunculus.